Hello everybody. This video should have been released much earlier, but unforeseen circumstances happened, because of which we could not tell you. So what happened to our dogs? And if our watchdog Jack is on a chain all the time, that's why he's a watchdog. Then Jessie has, so to speak, free access and complete freedom of movement. She walks wherever she wants and constantly brings us various surprises. For example, I recently brought a fur hat to her. Where could such a rarity even be found? And when the onset of March happened, as it warmed up a little bit, the surprises became even less curious. We started to find ticks on her. At the time of the video's release, 4 pieces had been removed. I'm afraid to imagine what was going to happen during the summer. And now, a few days before the release of this video, Jessie injured her foot somewhere and began to limp. In a word, she doesn't live in peace. However, no matter where Jessie walks during the day or at night, she always returns to her little doghouse. Based on all of the sizes of our guard dogs and all of the preliminary calculations, we purchased materials and were ready to build a doghouse, but didn't really have time. Unfortunately, Jack died at the end of January. When I came to the hangar in the morning and saw his lifeless body, I wasn't crying, I was just tears. Even now, recording the voiceover, I can't talk about it calmly, and it's been almost 2 months since this happened. We got Jack along with the hangar, and before we became friends with him, he managed to bite almost every one of us. That was his nature. No one could really tell us his exact age, but a year and a half ago, the numbers roughly converged to 7 or 8 years old. Back in December, he had a cough, and then his appetite disappeared. We took him to the vet where they took tests and gave him injections. Jack underwent treatment, recovered, and we were sure that all the bad things were over. But one day, Jack was gone. Although we were warned that these are age-related difficulties and we need to prepare for the worst, we still did not really expect such a quick and sad end. We weren't the only ones missing Jack. For a whole week from the day Jack died, Jessie sat in her doghouse and did not want to leave it at all. She ate in there and slept in there. She didn't even come out to meet us to make up for it, as it usually happened. To be honest, after Jack, I absolutely did not want to have another watchdog, but time passed, and we knew that intellectually it was impossible without protection, so it was decided to start building a doghouse anyway, based on the fact that a large breed dog would be settled in. Maybe she'll be a German Shepherd, but since the dimensions have already been calculated and the material has already been purchased, all we have to do is just draw it and cut it out. Yes, it's not really necessary to untie it. A small life hack, and there are a lot of little blanks in the right sizes so you can move on to the next stage. This 40 by 40 wooden beam will act as a skeleton for the booth. Now we have our disassembled booth, and then it will be more logical to do it like this. But we're still going to put it together. As of now, it doesn't really seem that there is a need for the bar inside of the doghouse, but I guess there is a reason. We will fill the resulting niche with foam 4 millimeters thick. And the cracks that remain between the foam and the frame of the doghouse are foamed in. We put another sheet of OSB on top of the structure, and as a result, we got a sandwich of 2 OSB plywood sheets, inside of which there is a foam center. Now you can install the front part as well. And then, according to the same scheme, we sheathed the whole doghouse with foam and then fill in the remaining cracks. Then we leave the doghouse for 24 hours until the foam completely solidifies, because this is not all, and the next stage of assembly is ahead. And while we had time, we decided to spend it usefully and to look for a dog online. Initially, the choice was divided between a German Shepherd and a Central Asian Shepherd. So let's not torment you all with these expectations, the agony of choice, and other unnecessary nonsense. So, meet our formidable new guard dog, a 3-month-old alibi puppy. He calmly walked in and began to look around. The dog looks balanced and is not at all afraid of the new territory. We even showed him the doghouse that was being built for him, but this didn't really amuse him much. So he decided to use his tactics in any incomprehensible situation and just go to bed. The waiting time has passed and we can return to the construction of the doghouse. First of all, we will cut off the excess mounting foam off the cracks. When the roof surface has become smooth, it's time to sew it up and with a second sheet of OSB plywood and again foam the cracks in the joints. We had no time to start the final stage of work on the booth when our prodigal friend Jessie came in, which means that this is time to introduce her to the new puppy. At first, the little alibi puppy was not at all happy to see another dog in the territory that he had already begun to consider his own. Jessie, on the contrary, was extremely pleased with her new friend and began actively trying to get to know the puppy while he was trying to run away from her. The alibi puppy took all attempts to sniff himself with hostility, but soon enough the dog came to terms with the fact that they would have to be friends and also began to show interest in Jessie. So, the first meeting has officially taken place. This is all really great, of course, but it's time to finish the doghouse. We sheathe all the side walls with a blockhouse board. This is like a semicircular lining, which we attach to 2 nails on each side. Using the same idea, we sheathe each of the walls of the doghouse. The structure in its current form may get a little damp, so it's time to paint it up. We hide all of the surfaces of the doghouse with varnish, not forgetting to smear the joints between the cladding. Now almost everything is ready. Now we just have the final touch, or rather the roof. We place the corrugated board on the booth and fasten it with screws. Well, in the end, we got what we think is a wonderful doghouse for our new dog. And that's it for now. Bye-bye.